musician Tailor's Twin and Chevy.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the Tailor's Talk Podcast, live here at Grinding Entertainment Studio, home of Musician Tailor, LLC. I'm your co-host, Chevy Revis, along with my co-host and co-founder, Darrell Twin Smith. Today, we have a super special guest. He's a devoted father, producer, manager, entrepreneur, creator, mentor, dot connector, studio owner, and founder of Jon Woo Producer Corner, where he helps and gives up-and-coming producer and artists an opportunity to showcase their talent with educational feedback to grow. He's one of the most influential people in the state of Kentucky. He's toured and worked and connected with some of the music top labels, artists, and Grammy Award winners. He's currently managing one of the most talented, sought-out songwriter-singer, Mars, with 2 Z's. Please help us welcome to the show our brother, peer, ally, associate, and friend, hailing all the way from 270 Hardin County, Radcliffe, Kentucky, Jon Woo.
Thank you.
What's
good, man? I'm all right.
What's up, man?
All right.
I'm trying.
I finally got you in the hot seat, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Welcome,
Long
man.
time coming, bro.
I've been waiting for this.
Man, listen, we've been waiting on you. I thought we were going to have to do like a 10-part series, man.
I mean,
This might just be one of like 20.
I'm with it.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
Bobby Brown or New Edition thing, you know what I'm saying?
What up, twin, man?
What's up, brother? I'm glad you finally came down and to hang out with us. You come hang out with us, but you don't never catch us both in the city at the same time.
Yeah, I think I've only seen y'all. I've only been here once or another time. Both of y'all was here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last, I think you brought Mars and
Mars
crew.
and
No, we
Mars
was
and Days.
Yeah, y'all came here, but then we seen y'all at Josh. Too.
Yeah.
We was at Josh
They
event.
definitely came, for the Double Up.
Yeah.
The Double Up tour?
I think that's what we call it.
Yeah, Double Up tour.
Yeah.
Dope.
That was a lot of driving, man.
Man, I know it, man.
And I drove it.
Preaching to the choir right here. Yeah.
That's crazy. That was a good event. It was crazy on the way. I ain't never tell you this on the way back because what was it, Thanksgiving or Christmas? Was it Thanksgiving?
I think it was Thanksgiving, yep.
On the way back, like the rental situation got crazy, and then I couldn't rent. And I didn't know, renting during the holidays is wild.
Yeah.
And we almost didn't make it back home, but luckily, somehow we got one at the very last minute. They were closed, and I begged the lady to rent me a car. And she was like, all right.
Oh, we'd have drove you back.
I believe it, but I would hate to ask y'all to do something like but we made it though.
That's what we here for.
We came up to Radcliffe, Louisville.
Yeah.
I know you elevated your game and left the cliff, went to the Ville.
No, I'm still Radcliffe, man.
He's still regular 270 all day.
We know you the cliff, but you done went to the Ville. You over there looking over there,
My
sunsets.
like this in the window. Look at him.
But brother, man, like I said, it's a pleasure that you came here on Tailor Talk Podcast.
Likewise.
You're a military child. Your pops was in the military, and over there at Fort Knox, Kentucky. What was his MOS?
I honestly don't know. Like, to be real, I knew my dad did military time, but he never talked about it. Never.
Oh, okay.
And then I learned from my aunt years later, like, I don't think that was something he wanted to do. He kind of had to do it because my grandfather was like, you out here fucking up, so you need to go get in the military. And that's what he did. But he only did it for like 4 years, and he ended up getting a civilian job in Fort Knox, and that's what caused us to move to Radcliffe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so. But yeah, that's weird. I don't never consider my dad being in the military.
Oh, okay.
Just because we don't got no military. He don't got, like I know every time I come to Twin, I see military something. Dad, none of it, never. Yeah.
Now, we got a lot of friends like that, and they done did some amazing things. Got a lot of awards.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Yeah.
You'll never know they was in the military.
Yeah, that's how my dad is. So.
Yeah, some cats they hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some reasons why some cats hide it, because that military take you through it. And some folks like, hey, I done it. I done put that behind me.
Right.
I don't need you to remember some of the stuff they went through.
Yeah.
But since being in Radcliffe, tell us how you started off in this music game.
Man, I started out. I started out and my grandfather gave me a stereo before he died. Left me a stereo, and I grew up in Vine Grove, Kentucky. Really.
That's my old
Okay.
hood.
All right.
Yeah.
So really, it's crazy because Radcliffe was like the big city to me. I was living out the country. So living out in Vine Grove, I didn't know what rap music was. Never heard of it. I grew up off of like rock music because I would go to the skating rink. All they played was Metallica, Poison, Def Leppard. That's all I'm hearing. So I'm sitting in my room one night and I hear this song come on, and it was what's that?
Rapping Dude.
Rapping Dude. And I was like, what is that? And then I heard Mr. Big Stuff. Mr. Big Stuff.
Heavy D.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Who you think?
Yes. I heard it. I was like, what is this sound? And so that's how I got into liking rap, like hip hop. And then I remember I had a friend named Ken Eversley. Y'all might know him as DJ K Razor.
Okay, right.
Me and him we was in middle school together.
Okay.
And I was like maybe in the 6th grade. He was like in the 9th. Something like that. Something like that. But I used to go to his crib, and he would be in his crib. Gigantic speakers downstairs and just going crazy on just juggling. Loud as hell. His parents are upstairs. Dad would be reading newspaper. I was like, I don't even know how this makes sense. How did they let you do this? Because when I say loud, I mean cranked. And like the whole house is shaking. And his dad's up there. Mom just... I'm like, how is this possible? So he used to let me rap in his basement. And I used to just freestyle over instrumental. Me and Dre Hayes used to do it. From that, me and Dre started rapping. And I had in-school suspension one time, and me and Dre was in there. He sent me a note. And for all you, this generation, that's how we communicate. There was that was a text message.
Yes, it was.
A note that got passed between 7 people to me was a text message.
Yes, sir.
And it was a rap.
That was a group text.
Yeah, it was a group text. That's right. It was a group text. So he writes this rap, and I'll read it. I'm like, man, I could do that too. And I wrote my first rap, you know what I'm saying? And then I was like, pass it. Then I read it, I was like, man, this is actually kind of good. And then I would rap it to people, and they'd be like, man, do that. And then me and Dre became like this duo that people would be like, where you at? Come here. Come over to this neighborhood. Hey, man, do that rap for my friends. And we would just sit there and do the same verse 1,000 times for people, and they'd be like, man, that's dope. And so that's what got me. I was like, man, this is pretty fun. And then there was a party that came through at Calvin Community Center in the basement. And there was a girl there who I had a crush on. She was there. We all vibing out, having fun. And that's back when everybody used to freestyle on the mic. Ken gives this dude, Floyd, the mic. He starts, we having fun, it's my man, Floyd. And then he just starts dissing me out of nowhere. And everybody in the crowd's like, oh, and the girl's like standing there. I'm like, yo, I was like, what do I do? And then I turn around and Ken's arm comes through the crowd with a mic. And it's like slow-mo. It's like in the movie. He's like, take it. And I took it, and I just started rapping. I just started freestyling. And I said something about, like, I'm half black Korean. And everybody's like, oh, he said he's half black. And then by Monday, I was like the man in school for a week. And I was like, man, I think I want to do this. And that's literally how I got started, like, at least in the music, just that was the moment for me. And I was like, man, I'm going to keep doing this. So
you started off as a battle rapper. You was in there killing them. So
people in 27 don't know. Like, if you know, you know. I used to walk around. I don't know what neighborhood this was, but we used to walk around, and I used to battle people. See somebody walking, hey, man, you rap. And I used to just battle people for no reason.
So I know you by making beats.
Yeah.
But so I know it was one time somebody pissed you off.
Yeah.
And he came over and said,
throwing
man,
a beat.
and that's what he did. He said, man, threw the track on, and when I say he killed it, I like, man. And you know, every time he got behind that mic, he was destroying somebody.
But you know, the funny thing is, like, I would go over to him, he's like, man, it was like, I ain't say it like, but it was kind of that, I was like, man, throwing the beat. Just took my jacket off, get in the booth, right? Twins going through beats, and I'm like, damn. Just do my rap. And then I remember, I think we were burning on the CD. I remember I took it, and I went to the dude's house. I knocked on his door. I said, hey, man, play that. I said, there you go. I said, listen to that real quick. And he plays it, and I'm standing at his door, he's staring at him while he's and I'm dissing the shit out of him. And he's listening to it, and he just looks at me, and I'm just like, it was dope, wasn't it? And he looks at me, and I said, all right. I just leave. I started walking away, and that's when he came to the door. Hey, man, fuck you. And threw my seat. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but, you know, shout out to him. I ain't gonna say nothing, but shout out to him. You know who he is. He doing his thing, and, you know, he ended up all right, too. So, but that was just a fun time, man. You know, we just being kids for real. But I had the I was very, what's the word? It wasn't brave, or it wasn't that I had balls, and I was audacious. I had the audacity to do some ignorant shit to you.
But I don't think it was ignorant, man, because it was like, you didn't mess with folks.
Yeah.
Because everything I know about you, you was studio music. And then the times that you did come do a diss track, they was talking down on you. They was messing with you.
Yeah,
so I don't think you had the audacity. You just said, okay, I ain't got to put these hands on you, but I'm finna put these words in your life and make you rethink who you're talking about.
I think what it was is like, because it was that, because it was a thing, like, they was like messing with me. And so that's why I did the song. But I think the other part was because, you know, they knew who I was friends with. And that's what gave me the courage to be like, go ahead and whoop me. I would gladly ask you to whoop me because, you know, the pain you're going to feel from that, not even from me.
Know.
So you going to have to move. So I think that's what I was like. But that was a good thing because that was the first times, you know, I had a little sense of courage, I guess. You know what I mean? So I was like doing stuff that I normally probably wouldn't have. You know, it made me ambitious a little bit. So, you know, having that chip on your shoulder, so.
Yeah. So after you said, okay, man, you know I can rap. Y'all can't touch me. But you kind of put that to the side. How did you get into making beats?
Because as well as you know, back then, like, and, you know, people watching today, you know, artists today can be like, man, I want to rap today. Go on YouTube, find a gazillion beats to choose from and can record on their phone. You know, when we was doing it, there was no producers. There wasn't like, it wasn't no thing of like, going online and finding beats. It was like you either made them yourself or you didn't. So for me, it was like I was tired of rapping over instrumentals. One of the first raps I ever did was over Exhibit's Paparazzi instrumental on the karaoke thing. I thought I had a studio. It was a studio to me. A Walmart mic, karaoke machine, and blank tapes. And but I couldn't. You know, I wanted custom beats. So I begged my mother for $500 to buy this drum machine. And she gave it to me. You got to think $500 in 96 or 97 was a lot of money. So she gave it to me. I buy a Roland DR5. The day I got it, I think I sat in my chair trying to learn it for almost like 20 hours. I sat there for so long that when I got up, finally, I had those windbreaker sweatpants. The paint from the pants peeled off and was stuck to the chair.
Damn.
That's how long I sat in one spot without moving. And I just, because, you know, I'm not a manual guy. I'm just like, just turn it on and start pushing, start touching, doing stuff. And I figured it out. And I was making beats like within 20 hours. And that's what, and I think I played the beat for like, some beats for like Quintel or something. And he was like, man, it's pretty good. And then the same thing happened. People like, hey, Woo, come here, play them beats. And I was like, man, people really like the beats. And then I think I learned that producers get paid before artists. And so then the business kicked in and was like, you know what, I think this is what I want to do. And so that's how I got into production.
Yeah, you do got some fire. If y'all don't know, this man got some hits. And he ain't going to tell y'all about them. I used to sit in the studio and watch this cat. I'm like, damn, that's cold right there. I mean, back to back. I'm talking about he pushing them out like, you know, you selling line laters in elementary school for $1.
Yeah. Right. But the crazy part about it, when I got there, it's like everybody that was anybody had a Jon Woo beat.
Yeah.
I'm not even playing. I'm talking. If you rapped in the state of Kentucky, you had a Jon Woo beat.
You
And
know,
it was like in the early 2000s.
yeah, you know what that was, man. It was the time I spent in New York.
I wanted
Like
to
that's
talk
what
about
that's
that.
what got me like that. So when I was I don't know how it was early, it's probably like 99. I think where was you at 99?
So 99. So I met you in 2001.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, 2001. Cause I got the Fort Knox 2000.
Okay.
And then when I met you my first year. I met you my first year when I got the Knox. So it was 2000. It was like the end of 2000 because I know my mom had already passed when I met you. Because what's his name? Williams
Okay.
from Louisiana introduced me to you. He said, "Oh man," he used to talk about, "Man, I can rap this, and this," but then he ended up introducing me to you because he was in 16 Cal. And so he was a specialist. I was working at the NCO Academy at the time when he had introduced me to you.
Yeah, I forget exactly what year it was, but I was pretty like, I don't want to say homeless because I've seen people who are really homeless, so I don't ever want to say, I hate when people do that, like, because they just didn't have a crib to stay at that night. But I was couch surfing, you know what I mean, and immature, and I just had a random opportunity. I was literally standing out in front of my boy's crib and trying to figure out where I'm going to sleep at tonight. I was like, who am I going to call to sleep on their couch, whatever? And he was like, Woo, you want to go to New York? And I was just like, I remember at the time, me and my girl, we was going through it. Just life was terrible. I was like, yeah, I guess so. Why not? And so I left. I hustled up $350. Actually, I stole it from my daddy. He got he had a tax check that came to the house. He had moved to Mississippi, him and my mom, so they still had a house. And just let me point this out to everybody watching. It's crazy how long it takes you to realize how immature you are sometimes, because when I look back, my parents left the house. I had a car and I had a whole house. All I had to do was keep the lights on and pay the water bill. And for some reason, I just could not do it. And I ended up sleeping on couches. And it blows my mind to this day that I just couldn't get it together. But, but he had a tax check that came to the crib. And just show you how the universe worked, the tax check was exactly $350. Back then, a round trip flight to New York was $350. And this is when you used to go to the airport and buy the ticket. So I took the check, went to his bank, deposited it, I went home. He had a checkbook stuck in the drawer at the crib. I wrote myself a check, $300, signed it, took it right back and cashed it. Got the money, and then me and Quint we on our way to Louisville. Truck runs me off the road. I hop a curb. Car slams into a pole, totals the car. I don't get to the airport, and then the cop was like, yo, because I had warrants out at the time, and I'm telling Quint, like, you got to drive. You got to say you was driving. He's freaked out because he didn't hit the windshield and everything. And my car is, like, up in the air. It's right next to the Dixie Highway, so everybody's 4 o'clock. Yeah. Everybody's like, and he's freaked out, and so, but he does it's my man Quint. He takes the charge. He's like, I was driving, officer. But the funny thing is, the officer's like, no, you wasn't. He was like, I was driving. He's like, you wasn't driving. He's like, why you lying? He was like, Then he looks at me. He's like, why you lying? You was driving. I was like, I wasn't driving. He's like, son, there's 1,000 people that seen you get out the driver's side. And in my head, I'm like, dang, you got a point. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why didn't I think of that? And so
just switched over.
Yeah. So he runs my stuff. He's like, why you lie? I said, because I got warrants. I'm gonna just keep it real. I got warrants. He look at my stuff, no warrants. I'm like, oh, okay. I leave. So next day, I end up getting to the airport, get to New York, and that was that's the beginning of New York. And then I'm thinking like a month later, I ended up coming right back home. When I came home, I found a note in the mail from the court that showed when they issued the warrant. If for some reason they issued it late, they issued it the very next day after I got pulled over, or when I got in a wreck. So I would have went to jail. Yeah. But so I got lucky, and I ended up in New York for about 3.5 years, and then I went back and forth for about another 2 years. But living in New York was such a different speed, and it's so fast paced, and it's so competitive because it's like everybody is trying to do what you're doing, and I never seen that before. So, doing that and then coming back home from that is when, so my attitude, I was just moving fast. I just was doing this, that, and the third, and that's how I kind of got my name out there. And that's when I met Native and stuff like that. But I don't even know why I went to the New York thing, but yeah.
No, because that leads to a lot of things. Cause I remember you were saying you got a lot of placements up there when you was up in New York. You know what I'm saying? What was the one?
Well, when I was in New York, I was just I was working out of a studio, and I was just producing. It was after that when I started getting little placements. The first placement I got after I came home from New York was I landed a record with an artist named Stack Bundles.
Stack Bundles.
And Stack Bundles was already like a legend in New York. So I landed the record with him. Him, T.I., and Jim Jones, I think, was on tour. They came to Louisville. They told me it was coming. They had me come to the event, let me in, show love, and it was dope. And then, like, I gave them more beats, and then they called me while they was on the bus, like, man, these beats is crazy. Me and Ness, my boy Ness, gave him a bunch of beats. And then, like, 3 months later, he died. He got murdered.
Damn.
So,
Yeah, rest in peace, Stack Bundles. Yeah. Shout out to Native, too.
Yeah.
Native.
Yeah. Native, yeah. So, yeah, New York was fire, man. But then I think when I came back, that's when
me and you linked up, because I know because when you came back, you was like you was working. When I'm talking about working, it was like I got to the point where I'm like, hey, I'm out there training and say, here go the key, go do what you got to do.
Yeah, I put Twin in the song because of that. You know what I mean? Because that was the first time anybody ever looked out for me like that. And it was like, you got to understand with that. And to you, maybe, I'm not saying you don't think it mean nothing, but, to you, hey, I like what you do, man. Here, I'm going to help you out, right? But to me, it was like it was almost like somebody saying, I'm going to save your life. That's what it felt like to me, because at that point, I come back from New York. Because you know why I came back from New York, right?
No.
The main reason was I was moving around. The guy I went up there with, the guy was up there we was cool, but we fell out, and he just disappeared for like a month. So I ended up getting, me and my boy Chris Perkins, who I ended up living with in New York, me and him went to a studio in New Jersey that he knew of. Just so happened the room that we was in was, and I mean, kind of sucks to say it now, but it was Puffy's room. P. Diddy. But he was developing these artists, and I was in there making beats, and they walked in. They was like, man, did you made this beat? I was like, yeah. He's like, man, you can come here every day. Just keep coming. Like, they was like, come here and produce every day. I was like, bet. So I'm thinking like, man, I'm about to blow up. Then I ended up coming home one day, just a break. I go in my crib, I turn on the TV, I sit on the bed, I turn on the TV. I'll never forget it. It's on MTV. Kurt Loder is talking. I see the MTV logo spin, and he's talking, and I see this video playing, and it's a building on fire. And he was like, I'm like, man, I seen a Range Rover in the video. I was like, hey, the Range Rover look familiar. It looked like the one at the studio. And then I'm reading, it says legendary Sugar Hill studio catches electrical fire, burns to the ground. And I was just there the day before. And so it...
You was at the Sugar Hill record?
Yeah, it was in New Jersey. It was called Sugar Hill Studio, I think. It had like 4 rooms in there. Sony had a room in there. Puffy was using the room. So
that's a legendary studio, man.
And it burnt down. It burnt down due to an electrical fire. And me and my boy joke about this to the day, but we be like, man, we wonder, like, was it? Because we used to leave everything on. We used to be like, man, did we cause that fire? Did we do something? But
left them 5 beats in there. That's what it is.
Yeah, but all that stuff was gone. So that's why I ended up coming back home. And then, so you got to think, for me, I'm going from that situation to coming home to nothing. So when you was like, when me and you linked, and then after a while, you was like, man, that to me, that was like, I'm back in the game. It was like somebody put me right back in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I always love you for that. You know what I'm saying? So, just so you know that, in case you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
bro, I just, you had, you was super dope, man, and it was like, I always want to be around cats that do music. Then plus while you were doing music, and I was like, I know dealing with, what, the Country Boys?
Country Boy. Shout out to Troy.
T-Roy,
yeah.
It just seemed like the way they was moving, I know you kind of like, I said, okay. I said, I got all this equipment. I know when I ain't at work, I'm in there. But then I was like, hey, I said, let me extend this olive branch out to you, man.
I remember I walked in Twins' crib, he had an MPC, and he had an MPC and he had a MoFat. I think it was a MoFat or a Planet Fat.
I had the MoFat.
Oh, you had both.
And what's the black one, the Personas?
It was something. You
Yeah.
had a couple of sound modules, and I was like, man, he's got everything. I remember when I was like, man, this guy's got everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then when he let me use it, I was like, man. So that was dope, man. I made a lot of there's a lot of music made in your crib, man. A lot of development was done in your crib because I think I used to go in your crib and just sit there. I remember just digging through records. I would go in there for hours and just listen to records and for samples and just listen to them. And because Twin would always have, then I used to get records and bring them over, right?
Yeah, man, you used to go to
Yeah.
flea markets, to the pawn shop. Penny for this record. We walking out with crates of records. I mean, we all
Couldn't
in the
wait till you get to the
backwoods.
crib.
He had me all in the backwoods of Kentucky. We looking for records.
Can't wait to get to that part. This man, oh my God.
Yeah, me and Twin would sit there and go through them joints and find samples. This shit was fun, man. Good times.
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So yeah, and y'all met with 2000. I know I had met you through Twin. In some kind of way, I just don't know.
He was at the house.
Probably at the
Because we was at the house when it was you came over. I had introduced you to Woo, and then I had introduced him to Money. So then we all just
who was it?
Money.
Yeah.
So we all just was always at the house. Because I think Country Records, they end up going to Cincinnati, or was that what's right across the river from Cincinnati?
Indiana?
No, the Kentucky town. What's that town?
Covington.
Yeah, I think he moved to Covington.
Yeah.
And so then it was like, it was really, I only had the only spot really to do music.
Yeah. And you had, like I say, it's just like here in Atlanta. If you have a studio back then, you somebody, you got a studio?
Yeah, you was the man.
Oh,
like,
man, you was the man.
Twin had everything.
Yeah, yes.
Like, and I remember going to his crib the first time I met him. I just kept looking at the NPC like, hey man, motherfucker, touch on it on.
I used to be able to listen to 1,000 beats, just listen like, man, that nigga, beats on beats.
And then Twin was the most organized dude I ever met in my life. So it's like you ain't gonna lose nothing at Twin's. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like everything is there. So it was like the safest place to make music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man, we used to be like 13 deep up in there.
Yeah.
Listen to a song on loop, just going and going. So yeah, y'all better appreciate this technology y'all got now.
Man, what?
They don't understand.
You mess up, you gotta start back over.
Yeah, you got to one take it too. There ain't no punching in.
Nah.
You mess up, you start over.
Yeah, man.
So, but I think that's what made it different too.
Yeah.
That's what the caliber artists back then was a little bit different too, because it was like you wasn't bullshitting. So now artists go just to kick it in the studio.
Yeah.
There was no such thing.
Yeah.
Like if you ain't in here working, then you know.
You don't need to be in there. And that's how I look at it. It's like the hangout, a lot of folks go spend money to go to the studio just to take social media pictures and videos and stuff. Then you be like, why? And you spending all this money, going there and get to work. Because that one artist you had when I think Silent Sounds.
Damn, why does it sound so familiar?
That's what, because you me and what's his name? What's the old boy name? We met you up there. It's the one that you had to come punch the gate. I had to come in through the gate, and then it's in the back.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And get in there, your artist just sitting there laying on the middle of the floor. I'm like, for 10 hours. It was blazing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this man put that motherfucker to work.
This is generation, man.
Man, I was just sitting like, I'm looking at the money from I said, wow. I said, this is a whole lot of waste of time.
Yeah, I tell you, like Mars, I'm going to tell you the dope thing about Mars is like, you can throw her in the studio, and she going to come out with 3-4 records. Like, every time. You know what I'm saying? If she's in the studio and she's there, because she don't ever go to the studio to really just kick it. She's either going there to get something off or to try something or... So, you know, she's a dope artist for that. And there's a few artists that I've worked with that have been like that. Not a lot of them aren't, though. You know what I mean? But some of them, you can put them in there and they'll come out with 4-5 songs. Those are the artists you want.
Yeah.
And nowadays, be honest with you, studio might be the safest place for these artists now.
Yeah.
Because I know Baby asked Bun B for some advice back in the day about Lil Wayne. He like, hey, man, what should I do with him? He like, keep him in the studio.
Yeah.
Keep him in the studio. That's the only way he gonna get better and look what came out of that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So But all the stuff that's going on in the world now, I mean, do you go to the club or do you bring the club to you?
See,
much of-
even like when to me coming in the studio, to me it's a safe haven. I do agree. I agree with you on that, but also I feel it's time creators really throw their ideas out there and make something special when they come in here. To sit here and say, "Oh man, let's drink and let's go get some of the strippers from the strip club," and then next thing you know, the engineer just sitting there like, "Okay."
But sometimes that's what needed to create that vibe, like or watching a movie or something. You never know. I mean,
I think it's like
probably it's a balance. If it's balanced and right,
I think it's just I think it's because of the experience like we have is so different. It's like I don't know. It's hard to like, you know what I mean? Because it's sort of like, it ain't no different than like if somebody tell you like your parents when you was a kid, like, hey man, pick that up. You ain't thinking about picking it up, but they like, why don't you pick that up, man? Like, why you leaving that there? You know what I mean? So it'd be, but it's just experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like they know pick it up before X, Y, trap, whatever. And I wasn't thinking that. I'm like, what's the big deal? So that's how they think. I think they be in the street like, what's the big deal? We in here vibing. That's the word, vibe. Like they go off that word. We vibing.
And then in our mind, vibing is wasting time.
And I'm like, man, you be
You know what I'm
working
saying?
here.
But no, I had that with one experience with Kiss Lee one time in studio. I thought she was over there because we only had like 30 minutes left.
I thought she was
And
right.
I thought she was over there playing on IG or whatever, Snapchat back at the time. And I was like, hey, Kissy, we got like, 20 minutes for we got to get up out of here. She said, no, mama. She said, I got 2 more lines. And went in there, one
Knocked it
take
out.
Jake.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm good. She went in there talking about, I was like, oh, let me shut the hell up.
Leave you
Get out
alone.
these jokes away, man. Mad the same way.
Oh yeah, Maddie would be working.
Yeah, mad the same way, So
Yeah, I know with Maddie on her phone, she writing lyrics. I know, but she listen to the beat. She might, do her little dance. Maddie got a little dance.
yeah. That's the food dance.
I'm gonna have to see that dance, Maddie.
Maddie got that
We
little
coming up to
dance. If she do that dance, she happy.
Yeah.
I call it a habit dance. I say, hey, we cool now. I know, hey, she cooking.
Yeah. But no, man, I know we've been friends a long time, over a couple decades.
25 years.
And I like to say, man, this man, I don't have no notes because I don't want no notes.
Yeah.
But I tell you, man, we met you in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You've been 100 ever since, man. You introduced me. I know most of the people in Kentucky through this guy right here. Now, the second time I came, we were doing the mixtapes and stuff like that. He personally took me, like, Woo had me in places I didn't even know that was in Kentucky.
Yeah.
He had me, like, every day for, like, 2 months. I'm driving to Louisville, and he's showing me we walking in speakeasies and going through alleys and hey, what's this? Like
and that's when I was like outside.
Yeah, outside.
Outside.
We was in every club. I know every DJ, every influential person in Kentucky through this guy right here. So I appreciate you for that, man, for real. Man. You know what I'm saying? And always, being that guy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
appreciate
saying?
it, man.
And continue to be that guy, cause sometimes people have these, but
I've had them.
But the same about it, you always trying to figure out the next play.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen you just like, I quit. I don't want to do this no more. Despite the up and downs you done been through, you never said, call me and be like, Chef, I'm done. Yeah. You never said that.
Never. I you know what it is?
You know
I think for a long time, man, it was I would do something and then I was like, man, I figured that out a little bit. And then I'm like, I'll try it again. And then I'll get a little bit from I'm like, and then it just clicked. And I know it sounds cliche, but it clicked in my brain probably in 2005, right when I had my daughter. It was like, every time you try, you get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
So why don't you just keep trying? Because eventually, logically, based off what's going on, like just based off the data, if I just keep, I might be 70 when I finally get to a spot. I'm like, man, I made it. But I will make it.
Yeah.
And so I think when you have that kind of belief, it's like, you never stop. Like, I've never stopped and I still have it today. Like, even now, it's like, it's almost like I can't quit because I'm plagued by FOMO. You know what FOMO is?
I just learned
I'm
what that
plagued
was.
by FOMO, fear of missing out.
Fear of missing. Yeah.
So it's like my
Yep.
brain will not let me quit because it's like, hey, you know, if you quit, it'll suck if you be like, if like, let's say you die, go there, and they like, hey man, you know, if you would have just kept it doing it for a week later, you would have been a gazillionaire. I don't want to hear that. So I just keep doing it. I'm gonna die trying it, or I'm gonna die like when I really get when 50 Cent said "Get Rich or Die Trying."
Mm-hmm.
That's not like a title. It was a mindset. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be thinking like.
Now you had now I can say I called you one time and said, man, I said I ain't doing the music no more. And you told me, you said, man, twin, take a break. Just sit back. He said, don't stop. He said, just take a break and just get focused and then get back in it. Because it was one day I was like, man, I'm finna get rid of all this stuff. I was out there in Texas when I had called you, and you told me, you said, no, man, keep pushing.
And then, man, look where you at, man.
You know,
This
you
man
know
got
how
his
to
man
call
do
me. I custom out. I definitely custom out. Probably drove down there and custom in his
Hold on,
face.
give me a minute. Stay right there.
Wait, where you at? Clean or hood?
I'll be down there.
Coming in uniform. I probably still in the Army too.
Yeah, we was doing
I came in my class A, all my shit on. Just,
yeah, man,
what
it
you
was.
talking about?
Khalid had me in a bad spot. It was like, no matter how you try to help them cats, it wasn't like the Radcliffe days where everybody like, hey, we doing music. No matter what, we gonna try to make something out of it. Colleen wasn't there for me. Colleen was like, what you trying to get out of me? No, and the crazy thing about it, the same way I was in Kentucky was the same way I was in Texas. But the crazy thing, the way I was in Texas, that's how I came to Kentucky. I was like that back and forth. So it got to a point where them cats, I had a little spot, little studio. The only thing them dudes had to come in there is record.
Yeah, I remember.
And them dudes, it just like, it was crazy.
It's crazy. Like you had them, like those issues with people still exist today. It's not even a new thing. It's like we was dealing with that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I remember you calling me and telling me those times. And I'm glad you didn't quit though, because I feel like we had did too much to quit. It's like you had put too much time into like why? Like, nah, don't quit. Because I went through it too. I had to take a break. I took a break. You know, before I had my daughter, I got the job at Humana that I hated. And but that like drained me, and it made me. I didn't quit, but I was like, I got too much on my plate, so let me just do this for now. And then I finally got back into it unexpectedly because of Blasian. You know, because it wasn't that I was done. I never quit music. I was just like, I'll do it when I can, but right now I just got life shit to handle. But then when he came, priorities, yeah. But you know, if I knew what you grow from that, right? It was a growth moment. So now me knowing what I know now, I could have took a step back and like balanced everything out. There was no real balance. I was just going. You know what I mean? I was just dealing with stuff as it came. I didn't balance nothing, right? So, but when I found when Blasian hit me up, that kind of like it's not that it gave me purpose, but it was like it gave me a reason to step back from everything. You know what I mean? So, and then that situation went good, and I was able to resign, and I did my first record deal with him, and I was resigned from Humana, and that was the greatest feeling because I was like, I ain't never going back, never. You know what I'm saying? And I think I only made like off that deal, I made like I think I made $6,000, but you couldn't tell me nothing. Cause I was like, I made $6,000 off of music.
That part.
Like, you know, so I'm a true believer. If I made $6,000 once off of music, it means whatever I did worked. Just find a way to duplicate it, and I did, and it worked.
Hey.
That's what's up, man.
Nah, he never, like I said, I have never seen, you know, you take breaks or whatever. And personally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, behind the scenes, you know, things happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think stopped, I guess, me and Twin, even with us doing mixtapes and parties and stuff like that, wasn't military.
Yeah.
You know, having to get deployed and stuff like that. But I was still trying to get on the internet and stuff and promote. But at the end of the day, you know, it's not quitting or just taking breaks so you can readjust, realize, and get back out there.
Yeah, and
Reset.
and you know, like when I kind of took my pause or whatever, like I said, it wasn't on purpose. It was just life, and I was like, let me deal with life first. But I'm kind of, you know, I'm glad I went through that though. You know what I mean? Because now I handle things a lot differently, and you know, I never took a break too because like music has been therapy for me. Like I come from a real abusive home, and like music was, I think comic books and music were the two things that I could. It was like escapism. It was like those were the two things I would go jump into, so I didn't have to think about the other thing, right? So me doing music was gonna be forever anyway. I just do it on the side, you know what I mean? But luckily for me, it turned into something, and you know, and it still puts food on my table. I haven't worked a job since 2016, I think.
That's it. Oh, that's good.
And I haven't had to go back to. I mean, I had a couple moments where I was like, I might have. I'm glad I got the IT degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean? So there's been a couple close, you know. But for the most part, it always worked out. And then when I did the deal with Mars, I was cool.
Let's talk more about Mars. How y'all meet?
Man, I'm gonna tell you a crazy story. So, and you know, before I say this, you know, like me and Blaze, that's like my little brother. Me and him still talk to this day. It's nothing but love.
Shout out to Blazing.
Yeah, shout out to Blazing. If y'all want to check him out, it's 2B's Blazing, B Blazing. Really dope artist, and you know, Blazing was one of the first. I'm gonna keep it real. He, if you really want to be technical, when I met Blazing, I met the videographer, and I sat them down. I said, yo, his name is Buku. Shout out to Buku. I said, Buku, I said, shoot all his videos for free. Don't charge him no more. Just do it for free so he can just pump out, like, videos left to right, content left to right. Them two pioneered the whole doing content stuff. They're the first two to ever do it like how you should do it in Louisville. And that's why I was able to get him signed, because he was, when I say content frenzy, it was nonstop. Great quality content between them two. And so, but when he got in trouble, he lost his situation. Label called me, he's like, yo, this is over. Do not call us. This is done. Right? It's like, damn. And then I was like, man, and you know, that was one of those moments like, glad I got that IT degree. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. But then luckily, out of nowhere, you know, prior to that happening, I want to say about 5 months before that, I was working with Mars. Mars had hit me up on Instagram. It was like, yo, I'm an artist on this. And I was like, I listened. I was like, you dope. We should. I started working with her. I changed her name to Mars. And then I met with her for breakfast one time, and she brought like 4 or 5 other dudes that I didn't know. And one of them in particular was just real adamant about, like, wherever she go, we go. He was one of those guys. I said, nah, bro. Like, you, all right, man. All right, I'm cool on this. And, you know, Blazing was doing well, so I was like, I don't need to even be here. I would love to, but you got too many weirdos in the way. And so she ended up working with this other dude who was a known scammer. She didn't know, but we knew. And so when I heard I was like, damn, why'd you do that? But I was like, and then I even looked at myself, I was like, man, you should have. But so I'm thinking that situation's over. I remember the day that we lost the record deal situation with Blazing, she had a show. And I remember I just went to show the support. I remember watching her perform. I was just like, and I remember telling myself, you goddamn idiot. Damn. I'm talking to myself like, I'm smiling at the show. I'm like, oh, this is great. But in my head, I'm like, you idiot. Well, you should have locked her down because she's that fire. Like, what are you doing? You should have kept working with her. So I chalked it up as a loss. Like, you know, it is what it is. Fast forward, when Blazing lost the situation, like, me and him, you know, at that time, we wasn't cool. He ends up firing me. A lot of people thought I quit. He called me and said he didn't want to work with me, right? But which is cool. I understood why. Because I was being hard on him about the situation. He was like, man, listen, cool. About a week later, I'm driving. I'm just like thinking like in my head, I don't know what to do. I'm like, damn, I just put all this time into this and this, that, and the third. And out of nowhere, this is months later, out of nowhere, Mars texts, DMs me. It's like, Brody, can I give you a call? And on Everything I Love, I remember pulling over. And I said, I looked out my windshield and I said, I know it's about to happen. I said, if this, what I think is about to happen, and I always believed in a higher power. But I remember telling him, I said, if what's about to happen, if what I think is about to happen happens, you're real. That's happened in my head. I was like, you're real. Call her. exactly what I thought. Man, I need your help. I'm in a messed up situation. Can you please help me? And she's crying. I'm like, I know who can help you. She's like, who? I was like, me, because she was saying like the dude was gonna blackball her if she didn't. I was like, I know who he can't blackball. Me. You know what I'm saying? She was like, and we got to cracking and got him up out the way. And respectfully, he moved himself out the way. I didn't, he got out the way. And then 2 months later, she signed. I did my biggest deal ever with her. Took her to RCA and she got signed on the strength. Like they wasn't even gonna sign her in the meeting. It was just a meeting, but we played her these. I played them to all the other records, and they was like, we want to sign her today.
Man,
that's
God though.
Yeah, I was like, dang man. So it's like that's why even today I don't even, when things I don't get upset because you never know what's around the corner. So what am I gonna get upset for? What if I do this and then I get mad? What if I'm upset and I go to the store buy a lottery ticket because I was sad and I win $10 million? I'm not gonna be mad that I was of the situation. You know what I mean? So I kind of lead with that now. Like I don't get mad. It is what it is. So
you are the Zen master. I give you that much, man.
Now
I don't think I ever see you mad. Be honest with you, like in person.
Yeah. Nah, I don't get mad. I think the maddest twin ever seen me was when I made that diss record.
Yeah, that's the only time. That's the only time. Only time I seen him mad is. But the crazy thing about it, he didn't seem mad. You can tell he was mad when I'm sitting here recording. Like, oh man, I said he was coming from him. When I say he was cutting throats with them lyrics, I was like, damn, he was on fire. But he wasn't like, the only thing he can't, hey, twin, man, need to record. And that's all it was. It wasn't like you see how his face is now?
That's why
it's always like what's that?
Zen master.
I'm Jon Woo, what's up? I might be mad, I might not. What's up?
Yeah. I could, so I'll tell you why I'm like that, man. Because I got sick in New York one time, right? And I got real sick, and I had to call the ambulance. I think I might have told y'all this.
You told me, yeah.
I told you too, right? In New York thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I got sick, and for everybody listening, I got sick, and I had to call the ambulance. They take me to the hospital. They started checking me and stuff, and they thought I had spinal meningitis, so they quarantined me in a room. And then the next day, and what was going on is like my throat had swelled up to where I couldn't breathe, and I was like blacking out. So they take me to the hospital, whatever. They quarantine me. Next day, doctors come, they check me. They was like, oh, we think we know what's wrong with you. We did some blood tests. We think we know what's wrong with you. I was like, what's going on? And they was like, well, we found a fungus in your blood, and it's only found in one type of patient. And, we just want to make sure this is accurate before we tell you. And I'm like, well, what is it? And I'm thinking it's nothing. I'm like, I don't know what they talking about. And I'm thinking I'm going to get a pill or something and go home. They was like, nah, man, it's like the fungus in your blood is only found in HIV-positive patients. And this is in, what, early 2000s?
Yeah.
So that was a death sentence. And I was like, when you got 5 doctors in your room telling you, yeah, you got HIV, buddy. And then you think back and be like, as reckless as you was living because you hate life and all the...
I ain't trying to laugh. I'm just...
Nah, it's funny. It is. It is, though. It was like I was reckless. I was doing whatever. I did not care. You know what I'm saying? I was like, take me out of here. Like, I don't care. So when they said it, that's when I was like, damn, why was I during it? Like, during when I'm doing it, I'm like, I don't care. Then when I'm in the hospital, I'm like, I was stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm laying there. So I'm like, man, my life is over. Long story short, about 2 weeks go by, I'm in the bed because they did spinal taps on me. So I couldn't sit up. I couldn't move because I would pass out because of the fluid in your brain. So I had to lay there for 2 weeks. And during the 2 weeks, I called Quintel because nobody knew where I was at. Nobody. I'm just in a random hospital in New York with no money. I couldn't pay for no TV. You had to pay for the TV. So I'm watching it. I'm stuck on my back. And I'm watching an infomercial 24 hours a day.
Damn.
The same infomercial. And I'm just like, bro, like, if the HIV don't kill me, this is going to murder me. So, and then I called Quint. He find out where I'm at. He like, dang, man. He's like, and this is why I love Quint to this day. And he said, because me and Quint was both wild. If y'all know, if nobody, these guys know Quint. If you know Quint, you're not going to think he's like this wild dude. But me and him was out there running in the streets, chasing girls, doing whatever. And he was like, man, I'm going to pray. He was like, I'm gonna pray that if you come out okay, I'm gonna turn my life to God, and I ain't never gonna look back. And then I talked to his brother, and his brother Renzo was like, he's like, man, I don't think you got nothing. He's like, I think you just done went off so far off the wrong path that you are destined for, that this the only way that God can get your attention. And he said, what I think is gonna happen, they're gonna come in, they're gonna test your blood, they're gonna find nothing wrong with you. They're gonna be so confused that they're gonna try to keep you. If they do, you check out. Don't let them keep you, check out. On Everything I Love, it's exactly what happened. They came and was like, hey, we've been checking it. Well, everything's normal now. We don't know what's going on. And I was like, I'm gonna check out. It was like, no, we need to keep you. I said, no, I'm gonna check out. And so when I checked out, the doctors was like, you seem to have a second chance at life, and I'd advise you to live it better. And I was like, man, no problem. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I came home, and I was just on something different. You know what I mean? Because I was like, this is a new life to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what got me going out. And that's what what I say? What was I tell you that for?
One day when you told me, me and you were just sitting there talking. We was in
I'm saying right now. I was saying that because I think that's what I was saying that for a reason. I don't know if it's because that's what
Destiny.
It was something, but that
you were believing in God. The reason, because like you said, like we know Quintel, and like you said, when I met Quintel, he's very God-fearing. Church.
Now.
Church. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When I met him, he was like, man, twin, you gotta get in church. Twin, you gotta go to church. Twin. I gotta get me a church girl. And then I'm sitting there like,
what's up with this dude?
But that's how he been. But then, you eventually told me what had happened. And then you was like, and you said, man, I got a second on change your life. Mm-hmm. And then it's like a lot of doctors tend to, and we ain't gonna get on these doctors. Yeah. I feel like trying to set us up to die in these hospitals. So I don't even study them motherfuckers anyway. Yeah. But you like I said, the thing is a second chance in life. And I know the thing you was referring to is when you was talking about your second chance with Mars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the reason this is where I was saying that is because what was it? It was having a second chance at life. But that's why I don't get upset. Because I heard this quote from 50 one time. I was like, damn, that's deep. He was like, dude, he's like, man, your mama got murdered when you was on. You been shot 9 times, almost died. He's like, do you have any regrets? He's like, nah, I ain't got no regrets. He's like, because if I'm to appreciate who I am today, I got to appreciate everything I went through because that's what got me here. So when I heard that, and he was like, and what else can you do? He's like, they asked him, like, why is he so fearless? He's like, well, I lost my mama when I was, like, what else can you do to me to make me feel? And that's how I am. So if you can't put me in the hospital bed and say, you're going to die, buddy, and you probably killed 3 or 4 of your friends, too. If you can't do that to me, it really ain't no low you can take me to that's going to make me, like, lose sleep. I might get mad for an hour, but as soon as my boy, hey, man, you hopping on Call of Duty? Oh, yeah. I already forgot about the issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's been dudes that I done cussed out because I'm mad. We done got in arguments, and then literally, like, halfway through the argument, I done forgot what we was even talking about. And I'm like, I don't even know why we arguing, bro. It's cool, whatever. Because it goes away so fast. Because I'm just like, there's no point.
I need that in my life.
Mine is I just gonna take a nap. A nap can cure a lot of stuff that I go through. No matter what it is. Like, if I take a nap, wake back up, everything that was going bothering me or whoever, it's like, all right, next slide.
Yeah, because really a lot of times, man, for me, a lot of times I realize it's like it only bothers me because it's something with me. It ain't even the problem. It's something with me that I don't like it, and that's why I would get upset. But yeah, I don't get upset at all, man. I'm pretty laid back. My bad, guys.
No, you good. Oh man, that's
I need some of that though. It's hard for me.
It's the training that helped me right before I got in the military. I ain't gonna even cap that resilience training. You go back and watch some of them slides, and you just be like, all the stuff that we used to get upset in the military with, it was championed. Like if you walked around cut, don't mess with someone first class river. Well, he'll be. You go that with a badge
Was
of
an
honor.
honor, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm a civilian, now I can't cuss out people like that. I better be ready to, suit back up because they ain't playing out here. They ain't never been playing, but it's still one of them things dealing with the civilian world and coming out. And the good thing is that even when me and him was in the military, you was bringing us around a lot of civilian people. Even though we met our own group, but you was bringing us around people in the industry.
Yeah.
And like low key prepping us for this right here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this right here wouldn't be possible without you.
Nah, I appreciate it.
I want you to know that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The musician Tailor, the Tailor's talk, he had Grand Entertainment before we met you, but the connection that you helped make with us in Kentucky put us on the map up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We couldn't have did none of that without you. You know
I appreciate it, man.
So definitely want you to know that, cause tell you, Woo had me all over Kentucky.
Everywhere.
Like, where we going there? We gotta go out to
Just trust me.
State. Yeah,
Just trust me.
And listen, they ain't have to pull out my wallet for nothing. We walking in back doors, walking through kitchens, a hotel. Hey, now I got my boy. Everybody his boy, his own girl.
Yeah.
We walking through, we ain't paying for nothing. And getting right up on VIP.
That's my mama.
And hoodies and whatever.
Always. Well, I used to wear button ups and shit.
I ain't
back
never
then.
seen
back
no
then.
button up, bro.
We got a picture together. Well, I'm in a polo.
Yeah.
Button up. Yeah. Remember?
I gotta go back and
So
look at that.
he got a picture with him and Deuce. Him and Deuce, he got on a polo shirt.
Yeah. I think I didn't start wearing hoodies. I think hoodies.
I gotta go back and check.
I'll send you the picture. I got it. Oh,
me and you?
No, you know what? No, my bad. It's me and her.
Okay.
But you was there.
You introduced me to
but
her.
I know the event.
Yeah.
You was there. I was with you that night.
Okay.
Because that was the night, I ain't going to say his name, that was the night, remember the dude came, I was like, yo, man, I sold this many CDs. And I was like,
I know
get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you know?
I know who he talking about.
Man, get your
He
ass
tried
out
to
of here.
cuss out DJ Slick. DJ Slick was like, man, rap and get off the stage, man. Just do what you got to do.
Yeah, he's like, man, I done sold so many
Yeah, I know
CDs.
you-
But it's like you talking to, I was in my head, I'm like, bro, you talking to a CD burner. Like I used to sit and burn CDs and sell mixtapes. The amount you talking about doesn't even make sense. Because you're not going to sit there that long.
No. Yeah,
So it was just, but
yeah, towers.
you had to have
You got
towers.
towers,
Not
yeah.
you. I'm one. You not. You
I
one
wonder
by
what
one.
happened to them towers.
No, I got mine. Well, I ain't gonna tell you where I got mine from, but
I had two of them. Me and Woo sit up.
I had a couple of them. I was just like,
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it was like that was that night.
Yeah.
And, I used to.
That shit was funny.
I'm trying to remember why I started wearing. I started wearing hoodies. I don't know, man. I don't know why, but it was a New York thing. I think it's just hoodies.
Man, it's the most comfortable thing, man. Every now and then we gotta. Every now and then, but I ain't never seen. Maybe I done missed it. So
Yeah.
but like we say, I'm saying that because your face card is good.
Yeah.
Like we done been in Kentucky Derby event. And we're like, nah, my boy, he gonna get us in. Everybody in there suited and booted, and man, Woo. And I got a t-shirt and hat, and
That's me.
I'm serious,
That's
man.
me. Yeah.
Like,
That's my
we was
suit.
we met Kumo D that night.
Yep. Sure did.
It was everybody was.
I think I was with you that night. You got me in that one.
I don't know.
I think you did give me that one.
I would give it to you because you had way more connection.
Yeah, I can't. I think
I
you
just
got
be
me.
like, hey, that's my boy. He gonna get us in. Like, you sure? Trust me, dude be at the door. Like, go around.
Yeah.
We'll go around back and walk in. I'd be like, boy, this is access to.
Yeah. I think a lot of artists like they miss out on. Like I used to get real cool with the security.
That part.
I used to get real friendly with security. They knew me by first name, so when they see me, they're like, "Whoa, come on, man!" Yeah. That used to be love, man. So it's like I think a lot of artists don't move in certain ways because it ain't relevant to them. I mean, it is, but it ain't. It's like we was outside.
Yeah.
It's like we was going, like I had to, you know what I mean? But them, it's like they can do everything from the crib now. So, but yeah, it's an art of like knowing people. And I think it's a lost thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah, Woo had me in the back rows. We going from little town to little town looking for records.
Little mom and pops.
Man, we was on them back roads. Come on, twin, we gotta go there.
Hey.
Go in there, look. And a lot of them records, me and Woo got on them back roads in Kentucky.
Go in there, look for 3 hours, come out with 2 records.
Right. But no, that's the whole fun.
Yeah, that's the fun. Then you can't wait to get home, and it been so many times I would get a record, and I'm like, I'm gonna make something crazy. I get home, it just don't even work out, and I'm just like, man, I just did all that for nothing. So it was exciting when you found something and it worked. It was like dope.
Oh man, so I know you're a big advocate of music, and I know Wu-Tang is probably one of your number one. Who your top 5?
Groups?
Well,
Man, I could tell you.
We could do producer, group, whatever.
I mean, if you ask me, like, what's the 5 artists you would listen to if you was crash landed on an island? I would say Nas, right? Nas, Outkast, 50 Cent, Mobb Deep, and I would say, I'm gonna throw an extra one in there, but I would say Alchemist, and then the last one would be the whole Cash Money era. Yeah, that was a big era to me. Like the sound. I loved that sound when it came out. I was like, I was a dancer. You know what? I was a dancer first.
Whoa.
Let me take it back. I was dancing.
Nah, I ain't know that.
Yeah, I was a dancer.
Okay.
I was a nigga in the middle school, like, come busting out with the hammer pants. I'm like, man, watch out. Watch how I slide on this
Radcliffe,
floor.
we need proof. Hardin County.
Somebody got to tape.
Anybody from Radcliffe,
Listen,
we need proof.
Whoever got the tape, I will murder you. Do not show that tape.
Hey, y'all know me.
He was out there break dancing.
And I was out there. Everything I started out dancing. And it's funny because the way I got into music, the same exact reason why I was dancing. Because I used to, so that's what I'm saying. When I had the radio on, my grandfather gave me, and I heard hip hop for the first time, it was just different. And then I started, oh man, they be dancing. And then I started watching, I remember I watched the Kid and Play video. And it was rolling with Kid and Play. And I was like, dang, man. And I was like, that looks so cool. And so I would just practice moves. My dad, even though we don't got the best, one thing I always give my pops, and going back even further, he's probably the reason why was really loving music, because it would be days he would just sit in the living room and just play all his favorite. He'd be like, man, listen, this is what I used to listen to, and I'd be in there dancing, like putting on a little show in the living room. And he'd be in there with his, like, he'd just be sitting there like, go here, son. And I'm just dancing all over the living, doing splits and cartwheels, everything. And he just like, man, you bad. You know what I'm saying? And then I started dancing. I started going to school dances, and I would dance, right? I'd be in there dancing by myself. And I used to go to James T. Alton Middle School. We in the gymnasium. I'm just in there dancing, whatever. This dude is popular. There's a popular black kid and there's a popular white dude, right? The black kid, his name is Byron Barrett. He's like the popular black kid, you know what I'm saying? And then there's other kid named Scott Langley, the popular white. He's like the Zach Morris of our school. So I'm dancing, and Byron and them got their own group. I'm dancing, he walk, all I hear is somebody come up behind me and go, "You with us now." And I turned around as Byron, I was like, man, I'm in the group. I was like, you know, and then I started dancing with them every school dance and stuff, right? So they had this big talent show coming up. This girl named Christina Garcia just moved to Von Grove. She moved from like San Diego or something. She come in with the starter jacket, the door knock earring. I'm like, who is that? Everybody in the school wanted her. She's a Mexican chick. And I'm like, damn, she did graffiti. And nobody seen, we from the country, like, what is she doing? So I'm like, she's like, you should do the talent contest. We in math class. She go, you should do the contest. I was like, if I win, you gotta be my girlfriend. And I'm just kidding. She's like, okay. I'm like,
oh yeah, incentives.
As soon as I got out the class, hey, you want to be in the talent show? Hey, you want to be? I found this dude, my boy Ivan Lee. I said, man, you want to be in? He's like, come on, we'll do it. I started going over his house every day, practicing this routine, right? And so there was, you know, back then there's no streaming, so you can't find music. It's either you watch TV to get it or you don't, or you hear it on the radio. There was a song by ABC, Another Bad Creation, called At the Playground.
Yeah.
It just came out, and nobody in my school really knew it, because, again, you had to watch TV to see it. My older homie used to, you know, he wasn't rich, but we thought he was rich because he had the big screen TV, the big fat,
the fat back.
Yeah, the fat back TV. The one, like, if you had one in your house today, I'd be like, get that out of here. But back then, I was like, damn, all right. He would plug up his stereo to the TV with the audio cords, and he would record the audio. So that's how I got the record, right? So I was like, so boom, we got the record, we do the dance routine. It's in front of the whole school in the gym. Scott Langley and his crew, they reenact Nirvana's Teen Spirit. I'm like, damn, man. So me and Ivan have to go last. So, boom, music come on, we do our routine. Gym go crazy. They announced the winners. They was like, they picked us to win. So, you know, like in Rocky, he was like, Adrian. That's how it was for me, right? So I'm like looking through the crowd. Here come Christina running through the crowd, like with the just running, like, you know what I'm saying?
Slow motion.
I'm like, and she's like, guess I'm your girlfriend. And it was, dog, I used to ride my bike from my house all the way to her house. This had to be like 8 miles, but I would ride my bike from my house to her just to go kiss. Yeah. Just to be in her basement kissing. And I'm thinking we having sex. So I don't know no better. So, you know, yeah, so boom. So that's why I was, when I was dancing, you know, and so because we won the contest, the talent show, they was like, you're going to be on a TV show, a TV talent show. So I'm thinking like, man, I'm out of here. Like, I don't know. I'm like, y'all losers. I'm out of here. I'm about to go big time. I don't need this school shit. Right? And so we gonna get on the talent show, and me and Ivan do the routine again. So I got on. If anybody know what Eastlands are, I got on Eastlands.
Yeah.
So you know, on Eastlands, if on certain surfaces, it's like glue. They don't move. So whatever, I forget what it was, but it was that surface. So I'm dancing and I'm like, damn, I'm not sliding like I should, you know. But I'm just like, keep it together. I'm dancing, cameras on us, and then in the middle of the routine, my shoe comes halfway off my foot. So in my mind, all this panic, it's like in the movies when it's like, you hear the music come on, dun, 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 dun. That's what's going on. I'm like, oh, shit. But I'm still like going through, I'm like, oh, this is bad. I'm doing the routine. And then I get to the end of the routine, I'm like, all right, I'm cool. I end in the split, I do the split, and my whole shoe just flies off my foot. And I'm just like in the splits looking at the camera, and I'm like, hey, you can edit that, right? And there's no digital back then. I'm like, you can edit it, right? He's like, yeah, kid. Oh, cool. So the whole week in school, I'm just talking shit, just thinking like, man, y'all are losers. I'm a da-da-da-da-da. We sit in class, the show come on, the whole school see my shoe fly off my foot. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just sitting in the back like, ah, man, this ain't cool. And it felt like in the movies when everybody's like, ah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know the movies where you got the stick with the bag. That was me. I was like, I'll never dance again. It's over. It's over.
And I'm never gonna dance again.
Yeah, never. It's over. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I was a dancer first, man.
Nah, that's all good. We all started off breakdance. With the cardboard, you know what I'm saying, going behind the grocery store, getting the boxes, and, you know, we all started dancing.
I used to come to Louisville. When I was 16, my boy, I was probably like 13. My boy was 16, so he had a license. And it was my mother's best friend's son. So me and him would come bring me to Louisville, and there was a teen club. And I used to come to this teen club in Louisville and battle dance people. I'd be in there like, what's up, nigga? You know, and I'd be in there battle dancing, bro. And it's like, it's wild when I think about it, because it's like, I really was like, it wasn't even a belief thing. It was just, I was that oblivious to, how can you say, it was like, I wasn't conscious about, how do I look? Am I cool? I was just like, I'm gonna battle you. That's all it was on my mind. So like, even the dancing thing, that's what that was, and it was all over. Like, again, it was for a girl, and that's you know, that's how I got into it. It's like, damn.
Truth be told, that's a lot of our motivation back
100%.
then.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of our motivations is that, you know what I'm saying. All right, Woo. So I know you're a big Wu-Tang head or whatever.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
fan. You know, I actually, you know, met a couple of them, which is I was with you when you met.
Oh, yeah.
We was at the Expo 5.
Yeah.
That was so cool seeing you on stage with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But,
That was dope. That was crazy, man.
Yeah. What would your top 5? What would be your top 5 Wu-Tang records?
My Wu-Tang, my top 5 Wu-Tang record. Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With is my #1 favorite record. I play that. I play it like, it's like my wake-up song. I play it just to get my day started type shit.
Gotcha.
And then I think Incarcerated Scarfaces from Raekwon was a favorite. Method Man's what is it called?
Met the Cow? Not the Met the Cow.
It was Sandman. There's a record called Sandman. I love that record. It's the beat, really. But I loved everything about the record. And then I think probably for the last one, I say... for the last one, I would say Ghostface, Apollo Kids.
Oh,
That was one of my
that's
favorite
on,
records.
Supreme
Clientele, yeah. That whole album is fire to me.
Yeah,
But
25th anniversary coming up on that.
yeah, he still owes me money too. He never paid me for that record.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I mean, I ain't complaining. It's like, I mean, well, I'm gonna tell you when I see him, I'm like, hey man, you know,
got to, yeah.
let me get $100,
Yeah,
man.
you
Just
got
throw me
to.
something.
It's my son. He love Wu Tang as well.
Yeah.
Me and him got a kind of like a challenge going on.
Yeah.
I gotta learn Triumph.
Okay, the verses,
and only one verse.
the one.
Yes, that one. One of the greatest.
Abomatomically.
Yeah, one of the probably the best hip hop verses of all time.
I remember reading that verse in the source. You remember in the source they used to put. I remember reading it before it came out, and I was like, I don't know how, but I have to hear what this is, because reading it was so epic. I was like, what does this sound like?
It was like all together.
Yeah. So
Abomatomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't define how we drop from these mockery. Lyrically born on robberies, flee with the lottery, possibly they spotted me, Battlestar Shogun, something like, hey.
Explosion when my pen hit, tremendous.
Hey. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Hey.
It's one of them one that you got to, I don't know what he was on that day.
Yeah, he wrote a crazy verse.
Listen, the words are like, and it all made sense. So,
hey, y'all, they rappers, I ain't.
No, but
my mind's playing tricks on me.
Listen,
oh yeah, that was a shit too.
that one, like I say, I try to like cater. I'm like, what are my five top favorite verses? And that, honestly, that one's up there, man. That man was on. I don't know.
Yeah, that was an epic verse. I think the whole world or the whole industry was like, that's probably one of the best verses ever.
Yeah, like everything.
I think it was voted like the best verse in hip hop.
Yeah.
So, damn.
That was like he don't have to put out a record or nothing no more.
Yeah.
That was like, okay, I gave my contribution to hip hop.
That's it.
Yeah, listen, y'all still deciphering that.
That's his history moment.
Bam.
But they all, to me, the Wu-Tang Clan, all of them is very humble guys. Because at the Music One Fest, them guys, I mean, they came through, and when I'm talking about talking and speaking to everybody, they didn't come in there with their heads. I'm the man. When I say the RZA, he led the way. He came through there, and he's speaking whole 9 yards, shaking hands, and so that was. I always liked their music, but I got a different respect for them when they was at the Music One Fest. As and I say them guys was very humble. I like, man, they didn't. I was out there working, but they still came and talked.
I bump in. It's weird because I bump into Raekwon all the time. Yeah, it's wild. I bumped into. He's the only artist that I've bumped into the way that I've bumped into. I've never had this experience with somebody else. So I would just see him places. Like I met him in New York one time, just randomly. He was just standing outside of a club and just on the across the street chilling. I was like, is that Raekwon? And I was like, yo, I'm gonna go talk. He's like, my dude who I was with, he's like, yeah, he's married to my sister. I was like, what? So I ran up on him, I was like, hey, man, you Bill's sister husband, right? You know Bill? And he was like, yeah. He's looking at me like, how the fuck you know that? Because this is New York, in Manhattan. I just walk up to him, like, but he was cool. Fast forward, I remember I came to Atlanta one time. I forget, I was in Saks Fifth, I think, and he was in the mall. He seen me from this is like the third time I done seen him. He seen me, he looked, he goes, and then he just kept walking, and then I walked up to him, he was like, what's up, man, you been? And I'm just like, damn, he act like he know me. So we was talking, it was cool. And then, like when we did the expo, I met all of them. I gave Ghostface some beats, and then he ended up hitting me up, was like, I need a beat. So I'm tell you a funny story. Did I tell you how I met RZA? Did I? I think I told you.
No, you ain't tell me.
Yeah, no, you tell me. No.
Oh, I never told you how I met RZA?
That's what we waiting on. That's what, we want to hear this.
Check this out. So we went to Expo. So I done seen him a couple times. I was on stage with him, which was wild to me. Like, I think as a kid, I'm like, as much as impactful as they was to me, I'm on stage with him. I'm standing behind him. I'm like, I'm watching Wu-Tang perform right in front of me, and I'm on stage with him. Like, I was at that point, I was like, yeah, I could never do music again after this. And I'm not going to be upset because this is a major milestone, right? Because they the ones who inspired me the most. But they came again years later, a decade later, they come back. My homegirl, Amber, shout out to AP, she's running Paris Town Hall, whatever. She's like, yo, Wu-Tang's here, you want some tickets? I'm like, hell yeah. So she gave me the tickets. And then my boys are there. Then my boys like, yo, I know what hotel they at. Let's go try to catch them. I'm like, bet, let's go. So we go to the hotel, and it's me, him, and his homie. We go upstairs to the top floor. All the doors have do not disturb signs on them. So I'm like, damn, they already in bed, like crazy. Like they just left and they already in their rooms. So I'm like, come on, man. They was like, man, we ain't gonna be able to see nobody. Let's just leave. So we go downstairs. As we walking at the hotel, I walk out and I just glance back in the window and I see you, God. I was like, you know what, man? Not for nothing. I'm just gonna at least say what's up to you, God. My dude was like, man, he's a dick. And I was like, I don't care.
Right.
I walk in there and I was like, yo, what's up, you guys? I don't know if you remember me from that. He's eating food, right? He's like, and he's staring like he's like looking through me type shit. And I'm just kind of like, damn, like, bro, why are you so intense? I'm just, and he's eating his food. I'm like, yeah, so he goes, and just out of nowhere, he goes, I don't talk to nobody when I'm eating. And he turns around and walks away. And I'm just standing in the lobby like, I'm like doing the whole look around like, I hope didn't nobody see that happen. And then my master killer happens to come out the bar. My boy sees him. He's like, yo, what's up, killer? Da-da-da. He's like, yo, it's my boy Woo. He produced with Ghostface, and he told him a record, and he knew the record. He's like, oh, you did that? He's like, yeah. Then my homie who was drunk, he's like, man, let's go upstairs one more time. I'm just like, you know what, fuck it, let's go. I'm thinking we going upstairs the same. So we go upstairs this time, same thing, but this time we hear somebody smashing. So now we turn into like little weirdo perverts, and we like, what door is this? Like, so me and my boys is like, we leaning like, you know, we just walking like, but we lean into the doors, and then I'm like, where you at? Imagine you a door. I'm like right here trying to listen. The door just swings open, and RZA steps out. He's this close to me, and I look, and I'm like, there's so many things that went in my head. I was like, oh shit, that's the RZA. And then I was like, oh shit, we look weird as fuck. What is he gonna think? This ain't good. Like, and then he goes, what are y'all doing? And I'm like, and he just starts laughing out of nowhere. I'm like, I'm laughing with him too. And I'm gonna show you how the universe works, man, how God works. I really, and I'm a believe this no matter what anybody say to me, but I believe the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, said, you know what, man, you a good guy, and I know this is your guy, and this is probably the most epic moment you can ever experience, because you named after the group that he started. RZA walks up to me and he goes, man, it's good to see you again, man. Let's go downstairs and get some bourbon. And I'm like, first of all, I don't know you, but I'm gonna act like you're right. Yeah, it's good to see you too again, friend. Let's go get some bourbon. So I ended up going to the bar with him and his wife. He said we sat there for about an hour and a half talking and drinking bourbon. And he's just giving me life game. He's like, man, you know, lie. When I met him, I was like, oh, this is really you. This is not a gimmick. Because the way he was talking to me, I was like, that's RZA. And then he made me throw up the W with him, took a pic. I was like, damn, it's crazy.
I remember that pic like that. I was like, that was just a moment.
That was a moment for me because I was like, all this time, this is the most influential group to me, and I'm talking to the guy that I looked up to crazy. Like, if this could have took me a lifetime and I wouldn't have been mad. It could have been 60 years and I finally bump into RZA. Even if he wasn't even the RZA no more, I'd have still been like, it's the RZA. But to meet him, like, when he's still in his prime, it was like nothing like that can compare. So, you know, but yeah, that's my Wu-Tang story. Yeah. I done had some wild moments.
But no, it's like you work so hard, and like I say, the universe will put you in certain positions.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, it will. Like that guy sitting on that Cadillac right there. I never thought I'd be on tour with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah, you be,
you know
yeah. I mean,
it's like, and now, you know, Twin, he been around, he done met a lot of people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like certain people, Maddie or whatever. Maddie met one of her favorite singers while we was in L.A. one time.
I think the dope...
Tank. Yeah.
Oh, you met Tank, Maddie?
Yeah.
Starstruck?
No, she played it cool, but inside...
That's how you gotta play, eh? You gotta play cool.
Inside.
That's where my... So that's where my meme mug come from. Like, when I take pictures,
oh, yeah.
That's where that come from.
Please explain that, because people be thinking that, you know, me and Woo got 1,000 pictures together, and he always like this. And I be like, you know he's smiling on the inside, right?
Yeah, always.
But you tell him why you...
On the outside, I don't smile because when I lived in New York, I would run into these celebrities. I would run into... I remember I met Foxy Brown, I met DJ Clue, I met Chubb Rock, I met all these celebrities. And I would take pictures. This is back when you had a wind-up camera. So, you know, you got to wind up, then take it and get it developed, wait 3 days, go back. Hopefully you took some good pictures, right? And you think, like, how many of these is going to be trash? So I would take pictures with celebrities, go get the pictures developed. And then when I would see the picture, I look crazy. Like, I'm like, oh, like, yo. And they like, nah, bro, hurry up. Like, I got to be somewhere. So I got tired of it because I would be like, I'm going to tell my friends I met Foxy, but I can't show them the picture because they're going to be like, you look crazy. So I was like, I ain't going to do that. So what I started doing, I was like, something told me, it's like, nah, man, next time you take a picture, man, just act like you ready to go. And so I started doing it and it worked. Because like when I take the picture, it looked like both of us, like, it almost looked like both of us, somebody stopped both of us, like, hey, man, can I get a picture? And we was both like, yeah, come on, man, hurry up. Nice. And that's how I would start taking pictures. But then it became like a habit. And it's like, when the camera come on, my face just go. You remember
Jesse with his daughter.
Hold on, you remember the frog on Looney Tunes? You know, my baby.
Yeah.
And every time, but when somebody, he be like, I got a dancing frog. They be like, yeah, right. He'll
just stop.
Yeah, he'll open it and be like, right. But when nobody's looking, he's like, yeah, oh my.
Yeah, I know.
That was me. Yeah, man. When the camera come out, I go. And the cameras go away. I'm like, hello, my baby.
Yeah, right, hello, my baby. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's man. You know, you done told us how you involved. You went from dancing to rapping to making, producing tracks to managing. What's your next step?
Man, I think my next step is, so I started a company, right? I got a team now. I started a company. It's called Imprint, but I think I'm gonna change the name to like Invite Only. It's gonna be like a production company. But I started a team, and shout out to my team. Shout out to Alicia. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Nathan. These guys like been in my corner with helping develop artists, and they get hands-on, and they just follow the lead, and anything I need from them, like if I need, like, yo, we got to shoot this content, we got to do planning, they're all good at what they do. They're not half-ass. You know, Nathan is my, you know, when we got to put stuff on paper and get it organized and everybody knows what's going on, he's the guy for that. Alicia's she's out in the field with you, helping you get content, making sure you delivering the content and make quality control and everything. And then Mike is the in-house engineer. Anytime, yo, we got to cut this record, Mike, all right, it'd be drop of a dime, he's there. He'll cut his sessions to, you know what I mean? So I got a nice little team, and I really want to, what's next for me is I'm trying to pursue a situation where I can pay them a salary. That would mean the world to me if I could get successful enough to give them a salary and have our own office building, and they have real roles and titles in Louisville, Kentucky, and then we'd be responsible for being that company that really develops good artists. And I think we can, like, you know, we work with Mars, and I got another artist that I don't want to say her name yet, but she's so amazing, and I think, you know, she can go far. So, you know, that's the next thing for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's happening.
There you go.
It's happening right now.
I believe, yeah. So, I wanna be able to pay people, man, because it's a joy. Like when I did the Mars deal, and, you know, I never seen that much money from. Well, first of all, I never seen that much money. Period. But then to know it's yours and you made it from music is crazy to me. It's like I feel like I robbed somebody. Cause I was like, y'all, I just made this much. Like when I seen it hit my account, it was bizarre. I was like, is this real? Like, then I went and spent. I remember when I went and I remember 'cause I got a crib. I remember I bought a sofa, and I was just like, it was weird because I know the money was there, but I was like, here you go, ma'am. Because I just know it's not real, and she gonna be like, man, you ain't got no money in your account. You know what I'm saying? Or if something come back, it's a red flag. But I was like, man, I made that much money off of music. So it went from the earlier thought of, man, if I made $6,000, I could do it again. And then the next time I did it, it was, you know.
You double, triple.
Yeah, so now I'm like, when I made that, I'm like, I can go, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's possible, so.
Nah, that's definitely a driving force right there.
Yeah.
Being able to, like, do stuff for free for so long, and then finally getting, you know, the monetary, you know, that come from it, you know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, that was one of my goals. The awards is cool. We got a bunch of awards in the military. That's cool.
Yeah.
We talking about, you know, monetary rewards.
Yeah, because it's. I mean, that's what you. I mean, at the end of the day, that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the creativity part matters, but it's like you gotta sustain it. You gotta find
that's
ways
right.
to keep it
Yeah.
going, and it don't. You can't do it free. It just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Not
So,
forever.
Not forever. Yeah. Not on the level that you want to do it.
Right.
So that's why I want to get to a point where I can pay these guys a salary. Cause I know if I can give these guys a salary, you know, and I already talked to them about it. I was like, you know, and they was like, man, you give us 25 grand a year. And it's like, if I can, we can just, I said, if we had an office and we in there every day, it's over.
It's over, yeah.
It's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, who can't we blow up? And we have a budget and we got a team and we working on it every day. So.
People, I just want to give a shout out to the whole state of Kentucky. People sleep on that place. I call it my second home. I feel like it is a major hub in the music industry, despite what people, you know, want to say about Kentucky. But it's definitely one of the major hubs. And Louisville, being the 16th largest city in America, it might be 16 right now, but it's a major hub. And I do know, you know, with the right infrastructure. Like,
that's all it is.
You're definitely.
People sleep on Louisville. People see. I told some kids today, the kids I was with today that I mentor. I was explaining to them. I was like, man, y'all from Louisville. Y'all gotta wear that on your chest because y'all have more DNA in the music business than you realize. It's like, and it's like you need to know that. And if you know that, and you walk in the room like, man, you should be like, man, I'm from Louisville.
Right.
So you know what I mean.
Right.
So I'm serious. Like because you know when you think about how much Static Major has done to the game. Right? How many? I mean, he wrote for Aaliyah, wrote for Genuine, all these iconic records. Then you got to ask yourself who was influenced by Aaliyah, because a lot of that writing was Static, right? So you got to think of that. Then when you think about just the sonically sounds, like KY Engineers from Lexington, he's the one who mixed Dreams and Nightmares. He's the one who mixed all the 2 Chainz stuff. He's the one who mixed, you know, Waka Flocka's Hard in the Paint, which was a groundbreaking record that changed the sound. It's like, that's his sound, though. That's his mix.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I asked him, I said, how'd you mix it? He was like, man, I'm going to be real with you. It wasn't even like a technical thing. It was just, I mixed it kind of grimy, and it just sounded good. And that's, you know what I'm saying? And so when you think of that, it's like, that's his sound. And so, you know, think about all the music that came out after that sounded similar. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of DNA.
He did Jack Harlow, too, right?
Yeah, he did a lot of Jack Harlow stuff. He did everybody. I mean, he's done Drake. He's done... he did Lil Wayne. He did a lot of Lil Wayne. He did a lot of Lil Wayne. The record with him and Eminem, he did that. So it's like, there's a lot of Kentucky, Louisville DNA in the music business, and I think people don't realize that. Yeah. And that's why I think in Atlanta, why not only do y'all have, you know, down here, people, I think in my eyes, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but they support each other more here than they do in other places. And so when I look at that, I do contribute that to the fact that they from where Outkast is from. They from where T.I. is from. They have a different belief, I think. Because it's like, Jeezy's from here. He from my neighborhood. That's a different thing. And I actually studied a thing I was studying. It was a study that was done that was explaining why Louisville at one time was #1 in the country for the highest rate of students that go to college and don't finish. Washington State was #1 for the ones that go and finish. And they was trying to figure out why. And they said in Washington State, people, they know Microsoft is in their backyard. They know Starbucks is in their backyard, the company, right? So to them, they growing up going to school like, I'm going to go work at Microsoft and my life is going to be great. So they're more motivated to be a certain way. But here, they was like, what do you have here? And I was like, that's crazy because nothing. People don't look up to Humana. We don't wake up going, I can't wait to work at Humana. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. And they were saying that's why. You know what I mean? So, you know, so I think like, you know, I think that affects how people feel about themselves in Louisville. But Louisville's a great place, man. It's a very talented, a lot of talent out there, just lacks infrastructure.
Thank you for saying that. I was going to say that. There's so much talent out there, man. Like, and every tour that we done been on has stopped in Louisville. Yeah. That's why I say Louisville is one of those special places. Well, Kentucky, to me, is a special place. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much talent there. There's so much hidden talent there. And this is one of the guys that definitely helped curate that, for sure.
And you're right. It's a lot of talent. I cannot take that away from Kentucky as a whole. You can go throughout Kentucky and you're going to find somebody that's doing music, singing, writing, musicians that comes from Kentucky.
Mm.
It's just like you said, is it needs something to make it grow.
Yeah.
Just like how who was it? I dated a girl from Virginia, Shan. And Shan from Virginia Beach.
I did not. I thought you were from Texas.
No, she from Virginia Beach. And she grew up when Teddy came to Virginia Beach. And so it's like that opportunity did help some folks. You know, so what you trying to do might be that thing where everything's gonna pop for the state of Kentucky.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that. Like I think I plant a lot of seeds, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm not worried about, you know, it's things sometimes it's just timing. You know what I mean? But yeah, Louisville's rich in talent. I mean, it's a bunch of idiots there too. Like, I'm not gonna fake the funk. Like, there's a lot of stupid individuals that do music that should not do music.
That's everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the barrier entry of music is so low that anybody can come here. If I did the same shit that people do with music, like artists that don't work, in any other thing, I will get sent to the mental hospital. And like, for real, if I go into a doctor's in a hospital and say, hey man, I think I want the brain surgery today. I think I want to do it. I'm a brain surgeon. I think I'm like, arrest him, take him to the nut house because he's not right. If I go to an NBA game, like, yo, what's up, man? I'm trying to suit up. What's up, man? I'm trying to play. I think I'm like, arrest him, right? Doesn't matter. Think about it. If I go to fucking McDonald's and go, I'm gonna make them fries because I think I can make them different. Arrest him and get him up out of here. It doesn't matter. But music is the only place where I can wake up and be like, you know what? I'm a professional and I'm the best. And nobody told me that but me. And then I don't do any work. And then I get mad because nobody supports me. It's just crazy, man. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
But so Louisville's got a lot of artists like that everywhere. But so, you know, as much as there's good talent, there's also a lot of horrible talent too. And there's a lot, right now I think there's 11 million artists in the world that got music out. And I think, in 2024, it was like 70 million songs that didn't get streamed once. That and Tony told me this, and I was like, I didn't even think about it. He's like, that means that people ain't even listening to their own shit.
Yep.
How do you put out a record and don't even listen to your own shit?
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Yeah, so,
That
you know.
part.
So it's crazy.
Shout out to OG Tony.
Yeah, OG Tony.
Yeah. Oh man, listen, bro. I know we could do this for 3 days straight.
Yeah, we might have to
Told you,
break it.
yeah. No, listen. I told you, you got to break you down in serious. Cause we just on the Kentucky part.
Yeah, bro. What can we find yet?
The best place is Instagram at Jon Woo Got Beats. It's JON, not JOHN. JONWOO Got Beats. Instagram, Facebook. Those are the primary places that I be at for the most part.
That's what's happening.
Woo, you know, we can talk to you for 3 days,
Yeah.
probably a week straight about all the times that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, man, we appreciate you being here, man, taking your time out to be here, man.
Appreciate y'all,
Be
man.
anywhere in the world. You here at Tailor Talk Podcast, man.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Hey, listen, man, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Tailor Talk Podcast. We got some more podcasts on the way. And Twin, Kinfolk, what would they need to do?
Hey, well, I need y'all to subscribe, like, and share. And thank y'all for tuning in to Tailor Talk Podcast.
Now, last thing, though, before we go.
What's up, bro?
I know last time when I seen D here, she got a goodie bag. I'm assuming there's a goodie bag for me, too.
We got something.
All right. That's all I just wanted to make sure. That's the only reason I'm here.
Oh, you want that goodie
I
bag?
just want the goodie bag.
No, you here because you love us, brother. Lord, appreciate you. And see y'all next time.